All right. Another week, another episode of Game Set Live. I'm KY Bob, your host, joined here by Mr. Bushido, of course, and we've also got Infinite Umbra and the Jack Astronaut. Yes, he's been to space. Uh, um, I want to start off the episode for anybody out there who is wondering about Assassin Lupa. She woke up this evening and she's very
Sure.
disoriented and very confused. But she's not out. I mean, she's out of the woods, but she's got a lot of recovery to do. And our thoughts and prayers go out to her and her family as she hopefully comes back and we game with her again one day. All right.
Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that.
Yep, absolutely. Great news to hear.
Amen.
Umbra. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I like to peruse as a thief in the night. Just love gaming, man. I play everything, but the Xbox is, calls near and dear to my heart. So, I'm a big Xbox fan, just because of the IP they have. Halo being the top one, it's my all-time favorite franchise. And yeah, man, and my thing is I'm big on community, so that's what really got me to get into talking games and stuff with everybody and stuff like that. And that, I parlayed that into doing podcasting, and I've been fortunate enough that people have, received me well, and I've made some decent friends here. These two gentlemen, and of course, yourself, Bob, and even the guys in the chat. Pyro and so on and so forth, and and I'm just grateful for it, man. A community thing is big, the biggest thing for me, and I'm happy just to be welcomed in by everybody.
Awesome. And to you in the chat, I don't know what just happened. Mr. Bushido commented on it. I think we had a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, everything went dark.
Yeah. I went to reply to Thember in the chat. I started typing, and then I looked at the screen to make sure what I had typed was what I meant to type, and there's nobody in the show anymore. Not even gameplay. I had no idea.
Yeah, I couldn't hear anybody, see anybody.
Really?
Yeah.
On a YouTube channel, it was still showing gameplay from what I saw.
Really?
Mhm.
Nothing was on even my YouTube channel.
Oh wow.
That's weird.
Mm.
And Jack Astronaut, tell us a little bit about yourself. Preferably without being muted.
He's probably using some big words or something, and it's probably good that we can't hear him because we'd be like,
It shows that his mic is moving, but
yeah, it does show that.
yeah, we can't hear you right now, Jack.
Wait, let me see if I can do it. You guys, I
No,
with the,
indubitably,
indubitably quantified with quantum physics.
quantum physics. you know, I
You
tell
brought
people
it to low back here.
get back in the car or your
Quantum physics right here running off the Rocky Mountains right outside my window.
Nah, I tell them that. No, vis-a-vis, I tell them to get back in their car, and
In the car.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me now? I don't know what's
I can
going on.
hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
There
Yeah,
we go.
no,
Yeah,
I-
we've been sorry. We had no idea.
I know.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We
oh
already
my
logged
God.
in. We already
Yeah,
did
I
your
know,
intro
right?
for you.
Yeah, right. Your concern is so touching, gentlemen. No, the whole time I just wanted to. I know, right? It's
Just
totally
don't
not
listen to the show
manufactured.
on. Just don't listen to the show on
I
replay.
can
and
feel
you'll
how
be
legitimate
fine.
you guys are with your concern. No, I just want to thank you, Bob. It's so great to be on the show. And thank you for having me. To everybody in your chat, it's so awesome. You've got an awesome chat already, brother. Good to see so many people engaging. Yeah, there's not much to say. Millennial underachiever. You know, I noticed while I couldn't talk, I definitely heard what might be interpreted as mockery from Bushido, mocking my
Whoa.
lexicon. So, yeah.
Wow.
No,
But
Wow.
it's so great to
it's
be here.
all love. It's all
Oh,
love.
of course it is. No, that's okay. He doesn't know I know his address. So it's all right.
You sure that
I
was
hope
an
you know how
Umber?
to
You
deal
know,
with.
like to copy my voice, so
I don't know. You know, I heard it was funny when I was listening to your voices. It sounded like some child.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, it could have been him, could have not been,
I
could
doubt
have
it.
had been.
I have a very specific smooth voice. And
Yes,
Bushido can't
yes.
quite,
No,
he can't quite replicate that. You know what I mean?
Well,
no.
mine's is more like smooth peanut butter. Yours is more like chunky peanut butter. You know what I mean? Like when mine goes on bread, it goes on
Chunky
nice and smooth. Yours tears the bread up. You know what I mean? So you have to use Stroman. You
Oh,
can't buy the cheap bread. You can buy the cheap bread with mine, so because it works. You know, it's that
oh,
smooth.
he is calling you like he's calling you a knockoff like Aldi brand.
He's
Oh,
saying that, but I'm more like Jif. He's more like GIF.
I don't know. Well, I don't know, man. With the way my audio is, I might as well be Skippy.
Yeah, right. I'm like that. Skippy. Oh
That was my
man.
dad joke for
Oh,
today.
goodness.
You got me. Peanut butter.
No, I thought it was good. Hey, Tim, hey, what's going on, man? Palpatine, Thimbler, and Pyro. What's going on, guys? Thanks
What's
for
up,
coming
Pyro
on.
understands me. Pyro says he feels attacked for actually
Thimber, I'm
having
sorry.
a
I said Thimbler.
vocabulary
Thimber,
above the
Palpatine,
level.
and Pyro are here every week.
Yes,
Every
sir.
week. They are
Appreciate it, man.
best fans.
And it's Timmy. Yeah, all good people, all good fellas. They all come
Yeah,
through.
I was playing I was with Timmy like for like a whole week.
Oh, we heard him.
Yeah, he was.
He was at a party
Timmy
with
was
us,
talking to
cursing
me
his butt
about
off.
that. He was talking
Yeah.
to me about that this morning, saying he was playing with you for about a week, saying you
Then
you got him the last achievement.
Yeah, he found some better people to play with and started leaving me out. He got like a crew of two other guys. I would check in and be
He
like,
could
okay.
find better men to play with than you at a halfway house.
Yeah, I agree. You did the right thing, Timmy. You did the right thing.
I was like, I guess I'm rejected now. All right. Well,
I was going to
that
say,
only took half a
Haven't played
century.
with anybody yet.
I keep telling you to hit me up.
Yeah.
I'm always on it, even just for nothing. I was trying to play Chorus, and I like this game. I really do like it. I don't love it, but I do like it, though. It's a game I had to play for like an hour or so, and then, drop out of it and play something else and then come back to it again. But I like the game, though.
You know what I did? I played it off cloud, and it played flawlessly.
Get out of here.
Did it really? I've
Flawlessly.
never had a flawless experience on a cloud.
Flawless. I played
When it's a
off the
single player
console.
game, I have.
It's
Single player games, yeah.
But I played it off the console though, and it streamed perfectly. Nothing, no issues. It was like I downloaded it.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
I haven't had a
like
chance
it
yet to stream off the console yet.
Yeah, I got about 2 hours into it, but I got to get back to it.
I can never.
Yeah,
I probably 1 in 5 times I make it past the little spaceship. Ironic, given my name, but I can't. I
Right.
I can't get past it. It just kind of hovers there for like 4 minutes, and then I get angry and go microwave something.
Yeah, that sucks.
All right.
Yeah,
Thimber has mentioned in the chat. Is going to just take us right into our first topic. And before we get into that first topic, great to see everybody in the chat tonight. Tell a buddy or two, like, share, subscribe. Let's get to it. So Thimber says, okay, I have one thing to say. As Dusk Falls is amazing. And I keep hearing this from many different people on Twitter, and I'm seeing it, and I'm hearing it from a couple of different outlets out there. And I haven't played it, but I've seen what everybody else has seen that hasn't played it, and I don't see that. I mean, we're talking about it's like 60 gigs. This game is 60 gigs. I did not see 60 gigs in that video.
Yeah, I guess it's because it's 4K. It's 4K, so that's why.
And there's probably a lot of uncompressed like audio files.
It is.
Simba is 100% correct. That game is amazing. And it's so good. I actually thought I beat it halfway through. It was like an episodic chapter. Like there was this train thing, and I posted on Twitter like a moron. As dusk falls down, 60-point achievement for beat. Turns out that was only half of it. The game is that good. It honestly is. So it offers a very unique approach. The animation is sort of half flip book, but then like live action as well. And it sounds so odd in concept, right? But it is executed so flawlessly. The characters are relatable. I mean, there's no one there that's dead weight. Everyone has this sort of, you relate to them very deep on some level through some narrative element that involves the backstory. There's so many options and choices. There's one path and a second path, then there's like this tertiary middle path. And it's a very well done game. And the more you play, the more personally invested you find yourself in these characters and how enthralling and utterly engrossing it becomes over time. It impressed me beyond what I was going to, and I know the developers are very good. A lot of them come from Supermassive Games, which you're looking at like The Quarry, Until Dawn, things like that. So I knew the pedigree behind it was good. I didn't see it being what it's become. I would highly recommend it. I think Thimba, you make an excellent point, gentlemen. If you've not played it, it is 100% worth your time and investment. Well, your investment is $0 because it's Game Pass, but it's 100% worth your time. It's very, very good. It goes on. The more personally attached you will find yourself to this motley crew of characters, and it's wrapped up in this sort of quintessential Americana in the Southwest, I believe Arizona. So check it out. It's great. I don't often complain about Metacritic scores because I don't often, give a rat's. But it really did not do it justice. This game deserved to be. I would say this game deserved to be almost 10 points higher. Yeah, it's that good.
Wow, that's a
There were some
lot of
people that gave
praise.
it great reviews. I saw that a few scores really brought it down, but I saw the top scores were really good. So,
True.
I'm gonna have to reevaluate how I felt about playing it. Now I've seen nothing, and I mean nothing but good things on Twitter about it.
Same. I played maybe about 5 minutes worth. I really didn't get a chance, and I was playing it off xCloud. Again, it played flawlessly. I played it off the xCloud, and I used the Kishi Razor while I was at work.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, played flawlessly. So, and I figured it would, seeing how it's not something that's really ultra demanding as far as visuals and things like that go.
Right.
But I'm going to, now that I just heard all of that, and you're right, Bushido, I've seen nothing but superlatives for this game. I was shocked seeing all of this. Like I felt we'd see Game Heroes, cap for it because he was.
You know him.
Yeah, this game is going to be Game of the Year.
Game of the Year, and I don't want to hear nothing else about it.
I don't want to hear it. It's going to be better than God of War, Ragnarok. This will be the end of their world once this drops.
Ragnarok ain't got nothing on this rock
right
right
here. Their world.
So that's so I assumed like, yeah, okay. I figured it'll be okay.
Yeah, I figured the same thing too.
I'm hearing 8s and 9s and such out of it. Like,
it's not a 9, but it deserves to almost be. That's an 87, 88. And
that's great. That's
and I compare that. I compare that to like game and genre, The Quarry, Until Dawn, Detroit Become Human.
Right.
It deserves it.
Even like the Walking Dead type game, something like that too.
Yes, it's exactly.
I love those games.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man.
This is better. Okay. This I will go so fast to say this is qualitatively better. and quantitatively better insofar as
I'll give it
uh,
quantitatively.
there
Okay.
is though, because there's a lot more. There's a lot more. There's so many more options. It's astounding how many options there are, and it's options that you'll do in chapter 1 that'll come back to save you, or bite you in your proverbial ass in chapter 4 or 5 or 6. It really is. It really is that good. I would highly recommend it.
IGN gave it a 9.
Yep,
Really?
IGN.
It's worth it. Yep.
GameSpot gave it a 9.
Timber, good
GameSpot
looking
is
out, man.
notoriously stingy when it comes to scores like that. So I'm
Wow.
I would say it's better than The Quarry, and I loved The Quarry. I was vocal about how much I love that game. I would say this is better.
Like I said, there were some. Like I said, I when I saw some top scores, I didn't see average scores. I saw really high scores. The low scores are really low, so it's probably one of those things where, when it comes to some people, one thing that still always sits in your head is the fact that some guys or ladies too, but reviewers will look at a game and one is Xbox. So that's one knock against you.
Yep.
And two, it's not a AAA game. So you're a 2-time loser already right there. So they're not going to back those games up like that or look at them the same way just because they're not. But you do have some people who look at a game for whatever it is and review it for what it is.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think that's a lot of it. We already know, unfortunately, on both sides, but
yeah,
I personally know that it's been a lot of PlayStation guys that led that charge on Metacritic when it came to that whole review bombing. And Pyro talks about it in the chat there that he feels a lot of ponies were threatened, so because they were coming at zeros, and gave Stray 10s, and it's like, you all do know that Stray is not a first party game, right? But that's the problem.
They don't. Any game that goes on a PlayStation first, like Sifu, oh no, that's an exclusive. Yep. That's a PlayStation exclusive. No, it's not.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's hash. So obviously, I'm not disputing, right, that you're both right. I do agree that a lot of it
good with proper things.
No, I do agree. There's a lot of it that there's a fanboy element which I'm very vocal about a distaste for, and then it does affect scores. However, right, as much as I love the game, and I'm as big a proponent as anyone could possibly be, right, that's the stylistic, artistic approach. It works very well for it, but I can see, right, how in terms of the modern gaming experience, the modernity of graphical prowess, if that is not a style that you are intrinsically open to, I can see how points would be deducted. So I think that there might just be a segment, and we've all read them of the reviewers that simply didn't jive with that artistic and stylistic approach. I personally enjoy it, but there is a subjective element to it. So while I think you're both right, I also want to make it clear that there is going to be a dichotomy in terms of appreciation, and I think
I feel you there.
Well, modernically, I don't agree
that
with
means
you.
I categorically disappear with you dermically. No,
I thought he said hypodermically, and I'm like, how do you hypodermically? What are you needling him with your?
I was like, what does that have to do with skincare?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I thought he was reciting. I thought he was reciting some. I thought he was reciting some Wu-Tang lyrics. Abomatomically.
Yeah, right.
Right. You don't want me to drop bars.
You're probably right. You would understand that you said anyway.
Can't define how I'll be dropping these mockeries, lyrically performed armed robberies. I don't know. That's why I heard that, and I thought that's maybe going with it.
I'll take it. You know what? That's what I get. That's what I get. That's what I get for $43,000.
Hey Bob, why did you leave off course in this video? Like, why did you just keep going straight? I don't understand why you turned and went a different direction.
Palpy says he violently disagrees.
He said violently. Wow.
Wait, he violently disagrees. Oh, that's quite
right. You disagree so much, he just got to punch you. Like, take that.
Yeah, right. He's like, I can't even be civil about that.
I do hear you on it, Jack, and I think you're right. I think that's fair how you put it. I will say though, that thing in the back of my head, I lean toward Bushido with it, where I feel that if this were a Sony game, or at least exclusive to Sony as an indie or whatever, or I would say second party, but that's not really a thing anymore.
You
So
think
let's say
that's the defining point, Doc?
I don't think it's
Would be the
defining.
fanboyism?
I don't think it's defining, but I think it matters, right?
That's
I think it factors in to some degree. I look at something like Sifu, for instance, right? Now, Sifu was a good game. I bought it on PC. At the time, I didn't have my PS5 yet, so I bought it on PC. It's a good game, but the praise they gave that game, you would think it was in the category for Game of the Year, and it is not. It's
categorically
absolutely not. Right. So, but I feel like if that game had launched into Game Pass, I don't think it would have got nearly half the praise it got. That's just how I see it.
If it would have started there too.
Yeah. And I'm just being honest when I say that, and because I look at some other games that I feel should have got that type of praise that were on Xbox or exclusive, timed exclusive on Xbox, that didn't get the praise I felt it deserved. But again, it is subjective, so I can't, like you would say, quantify that with any, factual statement to say this is what it is. It's just a feeling. That's all.
it comes from the gut. It's a gut feeling.
It's a gut feeling. Yeah.
Okay, I can work with it.
That's all. But I can't. I mean, I think what you said was more fair than what I'm saying. I'll say that much because yours lends itself more to reality. Mine's is just assumption.
It's very rare I get a concession from the mighty Umbra. I'll take it.
Hey, I'm growing. I'm trying to grow.
I like it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to introduce a new character here. You see, this is Bobby, and Bobby's from the Bronx. Okay, Bobby's.
Okay, I'll break out my Colonel Sanders for you, prick.
He said Colonel Sanders. First of all, the Colonel didn't even talk that much. I don't even remember if he had an accent either.
Okay,
now you got to pull out the
My mama said.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Poker and Leghorn joint.
Yeah, I say that, boy.
I say that.
Yeah. I say that, boy. Boy, it's one.
I have to admit, Poker and Leghorn was my man.
Yeah, boy, you see.
I say that, boy.
It's only $5.99.
He's like, boy. I say, boy.
I say, boy. I say that, boy. Let me talk with your mother.
But I can't say
Let me talk with you for a minute. Oh man, we're gonna really get off subject today. There's a lot of stuff I can joke about with that.
I swear.
Well, man.
I know Bob wanted to talk about the PlayStation angle of subscription service releases this week. Stray, was that? Did I hear you correctly, Bob?
Yeah.
Why you saying this?
I was just gonna say I was attempting.
Why are you saying so unenergetic like that?
He said it like, I was supposed to do that, but all right, fine.
I say that boy is playing with a full deck of cards. He's just really slow at shuffling.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So okay. I upgraded my PlayStation Plus.
I did the same.
You gave tape something yourself. Ooh.
I upgraded PlayStation Plus when it told me that instead of buying Stray, all I had to do was upgrade my PlayStation Plus, and I got it for free.
Same.
100% of the game.
So it's not free. You just got it through the subscription.
It feels like
free with the it comes in the game catalog with a $14.99 subscription.
So then it's not free then, right?
Well, then Game Pass games aren't free either.
Right. I never said they were. You did.
Well,
no, I didn't.
I'm a proponent of saying those games are free, and I say it only because
I didn't.
I said I've gone on record saying, well, it feels free at least, right? Because
I agree.
These games, that's what it feels like at least. So
you'll see one of the reasons why, guys, why I'm saying that, not you guys, but because we talked about it already.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I was going to say though, the thing is, Bob, I did exactly what you did. It was like offer like, $5 more whatever dollars, and you can get the upgrade. I'm like, sure, I'll do that.
I looked at it, and Stray was only $29.99. I was like, oh, that's not that bad. So I put in a cart. You know, I mean, because okay, I'm a big burly guy, but I like cats. I got cats.
Mhm.
I like my cats, so I want to play a cat game.
I got
And
you.
when I went to my shopping cart, went to check out, you know, keep this in mind. Xbox doesn't tell me this, but PlayStation did. It said, "Hey, instead of spending $30 on this game, why don't you just pay $5 more a month and you get the whole catalog?"
Wow. I'm
Yeah,
surprised they do that.
I
and
was like,
yeah,
don't
that's
mind
all
if
I
I
did.
do.
Yeah, right. Don't mind if I do.
I
Now I
would
It
would
care.
does
now
seem
now Xbox does tell
congruous.
you, because Xbox, when you go to the game, it'll tell you that it's already in Game Pass. So
True. That's
you
true.
do get it like that. But I
Oh,
didn't think Sony would do. You know how many times they made things so ambiguous, like the
That's true.
upgrades and
Yep.
things like that. I
Yep.
would have never thought that it would warn you before you buy the game. Hey, why don't you just play it on a subscription service?
You know,
Like
it's
I
a
know,
new
Shock
I know,
era.
absorber.
It's the new era because now you can see that they're trying to adapt into the subscription service model, like like Microsoft did. So I think
right?
this is only the beginning. Just to point out, this went day and date into the service. So I think that is going to be a thing for them, is where they probably use this as a testing ground right here to
Yeah,
see how many people probably
I think they'll be
subscribed in
selective
for
at
it.
first.
Maybe. Yeah. And I mean, if they
Here,
brought in smaller games like this to it, that would be a step in the right direction for me. But
Right, right.
my biggest contention was it had to be some type of day and date games. I cannot just settle for you giving me past games or something like that.
Yeah,
No, you're gonna
yeah,
have to give me something else, like Microsoft does.
right. There's no incentive if you're far less incentivized to
Yep.
subscribe to that. But I think when it comes to the Sony service, I would say at the very least, most people are probably pleasant to that catalog. You got with all those native PS5 titles. I think Stray, as far as as a trial run, because I agree. I think that there's something to that assertion. I think it's been wildly successful. It's a very lauded game. I've played it. I enjoy it very much. There's a lot. It's a beautiful game. It's so novel in its approach, playing as a kid, and I think it's working out. I mean, I would argue Microsoft's success. I think that's a good thing. I think that they're only going to get better with time. It's definitely not going to be the same, the same sort of caliber you're going to get with Game Pass. But because it's not their business model. It's just like a supplementary thing. I think it's pretty good.
No, I'm with
all
you.
right, all right. I'm the host, and so I'm going to stop the show right now, and because I got something to show Bushido. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago when I told you about the new MX ATV being first person and what a rush it
Oh
was.
yeah. That's right.
This is a video. I captured a race that my punk ass actually won. So there we go.
Oh wow, that
Yeah.
is really freaking fast too.
Well, wait until I load the shocks on the next jump and go flying through the air. Oh no, not this. Around the next corner when I hit the big jump. It's insane. I mean, it's crazy. Oh!
Do you have
It
to
is, man.
perpetually
It's a
play?
rush.
You have to play in first person, or you can switch.
You can switch. It's got all
Oh, okay.
different kinds of camera angles. You can go back if you want, but yeah. First
Yeah, but
person is a
I would have
rush.
never thought of first person though. It looks cool though.
Good.
I mean, yeah, it is a compressed video, so it's a little pixelated.
Yeah, but I'm just saying as far as like the gameplay is concerned though.
Yeah,
Like it's
it's
really fast.
difficult
I
though.
like that. Is it okay? I was going to ask you too. Is it more arcade like or?
Yeah, because it's really picky about how you land, and it's really
Right.
hard to judge what orientation your bike's in first person.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I actually fall off the bike a few times in this race.
Well, I like the series anyway, so I think I'm gonna get into that. Well, one thing I will give PS Plus is one thing. When I was gonna buy the Iki Island expansion, I saw that was inside of the
Ghost of
it's a service.
Tsushima, the director's
Yeah,
cut.
yeah, that's inside the
Oh, it's in
service.
there too, huh?
Yeah, and there's another
Ah,
DLC that was in there too, and I was like, oh
saw
well,
that.
I might as well just rent it. I mean, I might as well just rent it. I might as well sign up for the service and just play it through there at least.
Yeah,
I was really
Now that I
shocked.
will. I also had downloaded what was that? What's that game? You play as the lady who's it's like a roguelike. Returnal. I
Oh,
downloaded
Returnal.
that.
I like
So I
Returnal.
want to try that out and see how that is too. And give me a. I think Riskit was saying he can play that through a co-op thing. I think they got a co-op
Yeah.
part on there.
Yeah,
So
there's
I might try it
they
out.
just added it. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah. I try to go ahead and get some trophies for that. But yeah, I like that part about it. I'm glad that they did some of that. I think they need to go further with it though, as it pertains
Right.
to PlayStation. It's not enough, but this is a start for sure.
So, is anybody else
there it
looking
is.
forward to Stray?
Yeah, I played a lot of it. I'm up to chapter 8 now.
Oh,
what
Oh,
do you
you're
think of
much
it?
farther than me.
Yeah,
jelly,
I'm liking
man.
it.
I ain't got a chance to start it up yet.
I'm liking it. You know, these types of games. Well, I love everything, right? Not everything, but I love a lot of games. So
Mhm.
indies, particularly, are my thing. I like indies, and I think if you look at my score on Xbox, you'll kind of see that. Like I play everything. So
You're right.
and so this right here speaks to it, it speaks to me. Like in Annapurna, I know they didn't develop this, but they're good at what they do, be it producing, be it development. They're just top notch, honestly, in my opinion. And they've also had a long track record of working with Microsoft, actually. So I'm a little surprised that this was actually even timed exclusive for PlayStation, to be honest. But I mean, I know it will come over, so it is what it is, and I'll probably play it again on Xbox, and hopefully, if it goes to Game Pass. But I like it a lot. It's interesting. At the first, I think 2 or 3 chapters, until you get to the end of the third, I think you kind of just roaming around as the cat, and you're like, all right, what the hell is going on here? And it's like I'm just a cat simulator or something. That's what it felt like at first. That's like, this is not interesting for me to just be roaming around and jumping from thing to thing to try to navigate a city. I have no interest in that. So, but once you actually get to a part where it's narrative now, or at least a small plot, I won't say narrative, but at least a small plot, it starts to open up a bit. And it also has like collectibles and things like that, or whatever, small collectibles and things like that. I like that type of aspect in games. And it's got a charm to it, I will say. Visually, it's nice. It's not anything to write home about. It could definitely be done on the previous gen, on the 8th gen, but it does look nice. Sound quality is nice. A lot of cute moments. I can see that it's going to appeal to a lot of women. I can say that right now, especially cat lovers and such, and pet lovers, pet owners rather. But it's a charming game for sure. I don't know. I think I'm thinking also of streaming, doing the 2 hour, at least the what you call it, the getting at my last trophy, which you have to beat the game within 2 hours. So I'm probably going to stream it after I beat it this one time. But I like it a lot. I think it's a solid game overall. I don't have a definitive score to give it just yet, but it's in the 7 range for me right now.
Does everybody's pussy look the same?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
everybody's pussy is different. That's what I've been told. You can get
So there's
creative.
not much customizing.
No, there's no customizing of the pussy, unfortunately.
Wow. Okay.
But you can make it meow however you feel like it. So I mean, some
Oh my
customization.
God, he's still going with it.
I was like, I'll just
That one
let
was
him,
even
I'll
better
just let him
because
do it.
you could tell. Yeah, you could tell. But I was like, yeah, I know how he thinks. Yeah, you think you slick.
If you meow 100 times, you get a trophy for that. Just saying. So you can,
Really?
yeah, you can kind of
All right.
take that pussy at your own pace. You know what I mean? Absolutely.
Wow. Like, how long did it take you to trophy? I did it in 5 minutes.
I take my time. Yeah, I take my time when it comes to that. So I like
Yeah,
to,
but to see it probably took him a minute. So
yeah, I like to play with the pussy a little bit longer. But so I meowed with it a lot of times, and it got to that point at a slower pace. I didn't want to rush it. I didn't want to rush it.
Hey, Peter. I wanna message you in here, but my answer is so long. Me and you got to talk inside Xbox Live chat because that's an interesting subject too. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. That one's what would the Jack say? Multiplexing lexiconic Couple. You know what I mean? So
Multiplicative.
no, that's not it. I already said what it was, but never mind.
You said multiplex.
All right,
I'm
you
thinking.
win. Yeah,
I thought you were naming it.
I heard
I thought,
multiplex. I'm like, are you
Yeah.
talking about a movie
I thought he
theater?
was talking about the Transformer. I'm like,
Yeah, I heard
No.
multiplex, and I thought he was talking about like the IMAX or something. I
No,
was like,
no. And the other thing too, I want to say real quick to the chat. I see Boba Fett gaming. I'm not going to take offense to him no more now. He doesn't speak to anybody. So okay. I see now.
He did come in there and
Yeah.
said, "Hey, everyone." To be
Yeah,
fair.
and then when you hit him his name in it, he's like, "Hey,
Right.
Boba." He don't say nothing, and there's
I've
like 8
noticed
other people that say, "Hey, what's up, Boba?" He's like,
You know what it
it's-
is? He has to keep up with the Boba persona, so he,
yeah, got you,
it's the
got you.
thing, so
I
he can't
understand that.
be
I
nice to
understand that.
geese and such. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all.
I love busting the chops over that.
What up, Boba?
All right, next topic. We need to get away from the pussy. I don't want to, never have, but we need to move on. All right, so Halo co-op flight test. I've not got a chance to play with anybody yet, so I can't speak from experience. But I did. I heard a rumor about a week or 2 weeks ago that Halo Infinite was going to be delayed even further. But then we get this flight this week, and I'm like, well, then how's it delayed if it's already in flight? Because didn't we get the multiplayer flight like a month before we got multiplayer? So
Yeah, like
they
6
seem to me to be
weeks.
on target. They seem to be on target for mid-August, like they said they would. So, what are your all's experiences with co-op, and are you upset that you still had to have Game Pass to use co-op?
Not at all. Not at all. I would say I played maybe at least 10 to 12 hours now. And I've played it with Jedi. I played it with Risk. I played it with a bunch of people, actually, with Wolf. We had a blast. Honestly, I'm just gonna be real with you. And I don't even use the word like that. We had a blast. I don't even talk like that. And I'm like, it's a blast. It was. It's honestly super fun. It felt like, I'll just be honest, it just felt like classic Halo. That's the best way I can compliment it, is that it feels right. And you kind of, it's one of those things where it's like one of those, you make your own adventure thing, right? And so because it's so open and you have the freedom that we have with that, grapple shot and stuff like that, you can kind of do a lot of, things that you couldn't normally do in other past Halos. So it creates a lot of opportunity for creativity there alone in the sandbox. They can expand it, I think, and I hope they do, as far as things that they can add to the campaign. One of my biggest gripes still remains the lack of them having us allowing us rather to use our multiplayer Spartans. I think that's just a misstep. And they were like, oh well, it's your Chief story and all that. Yeah, but I don't, and it'll take you out of the immersion of it because it's Chief. I don't care. I don't want to see 4 Chiefs. Yeah, it's 4 Chiefs.
2 Chiefs so we twins now.
Right.
It's 4 Chiefs now. We're
quadruplets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any
Quadruple, yeah.
Do they differentiate the people playing co-op, or do you all just look identical?
Yeah, like the colors of your armor look the same,
Or
or
the outlines, maybe, I guess, if you like different colored outlines. How do they do it?
Yeah, well, it's the same outlines from what I've seen. You get to select your own like you would in multiplayer, from what I can tell. One thing I noticed though, you could not, from what I saw. Hey Bob, could you highlight that comment from Jedi right there? One thing I noticed that you could not do is mark the enemies like you can in a single player. Yeah, when he said played it with Risk and myself.
Yep.
Yeah, because we were just, all of us just sexually assaulting each other throughout the whole thing.
Did you at least ask first? I mean, did you
Not
get
at all. Not at all.
Wow,
Literally,
no consent, huh?
just went over there and just teabagged the hell out of him. Teabagged him into oblivion. just took it without any no warning.
Right.
And they both. And the funny thing is that we all betrayed each other many times over. It was just so funny. Like we're doing a mission or something, and just immediately getting cracked in the back of your head. It's like, what happened? Well, who did that? But that's part of the joy, though. Like that's part of the
Yeah.
joy, you know. And I do like, one of the concerns were the tethering situation, right? So I did run across an instance one time where somebody was in the background area and we got the warning, but it was never so, I guess, pervasive or at least annoying to where it had stopped us from really progressing where we wanted to do what we wanted to do. Honestly, it felt right. I have no major issues when it comes to any of those decisions. I feel the way I do on my multiplayer Spartans. I think they should have done that. I hope they will. They still can. That's the good thing, because it's a live service and all of that. So they still can add all these type of stuff to the campaign. What I will say though is that obviously it's a beta, so I'm not going to be too critical of it. But it was a couple of things we had, like rubber banding and stuff like that, as far as technical issues. Nothing major. And it froze on us a few times. Like if all of us die, which you all will see if you play with 4 people, if all of you die, it's a good chance that game might freeze on you on the loading screen. So that's happened, and we've had to restart. But outside of that, man, it's really fun. Also, they increased the difficulty for the bosses. So they have extra shielding and energy, which is what they should have done. That was the smartest move they could have made. And the enemies themselves out in the field are a little more tougher. They could probably toughen them up a bit more. But because if you play well enough, you're gonna run through those guys, and we did. But as far as the enemy,
You guys play on heroic or legendary?
Legendary, always. I
Yeah.
played it on legendary solo, but it was absolutely fun. That's the best compliment I can give it, is that it felt like classic. It felt like Halo, and it was just fun as hell. So if you all haven't tried it, give it a chance. Get you some people that can join in with you. Hell, if I'm free, I might join you. So absolutely, give it a chance.
Shit, yeah.
I'll give them at
I
least that
love-
one thing. They did nail the campaign this time around. The campaign is fantastic.
Agreed. Love it.
Yeah.
My gripes for a campaign are really that narratively they could have been stronger with how they presented certain things. Like, and I pointed this out when I spoke, even when we started up again, it was like they had this excellent CGI moment where Chief is doing what he's doing, taking down all the banished, and then Atriox comes in and just destroys his shit, right? But the problem is, for me, is if they would have had us actually play through the Infinity like we did with the Pillar of Autumn back in CE, and then that happens, that would have been much more impactful, right?
Gotcha.
So stuff like that, those types of decisions, and I know it's because of cuts. I know they had to cut, and because of the being so far behind and things like that. I'm pretty sure that's what messed up a lot of things like that. And then when we come across these audio logs, and you're like, man, I would have loved to have seen that happen. I would have loved to have seen, the ship go, the Lasky and Fire Team Osiris have to escape or whatever, and the enemies they faced, and why is Locke's helmet on that brute's shoulder? Things like that. We don't have any idea. I know that they're going to expand on it with future DLC, story DLC, which is cool. But if I had to just go off what we got, it leaves us a little like empty when it comes to that type of thing. That's the only gripe I had with the campaign.
That will be dope to play through that type of storyline, because even I was enthralled with what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well,
So if you
one
guys
day
haven't,
Bob will
give it a
actually
chance.
get to finish the campaign.
Yeah, Bob, give it a chance, man. I mean, now that they're going to have the co-op coming through, whenever it is, I'm guessing within the next month or two, I would say definitely see if you can get you a co-op campaign, a co-op person to join in with you, man, and just play through it. I think you're going to love it.
Well,
I think everybody.
There's a story behind that, because me and the wife we've always been really invested in the Halo story and the Gears story, and we always experienced first together playing co-op. And of course, Infinite didn't launch with co-op, and so she was back in the laundry room one day, and she saw me back here in the studio, and she was like, "Eh, is that the new Halo?" And I was like, yeah. She was like, "I didn't think co-op launched with it." I said, "It didn't." She said, "Well, then you better stop playing right now because you are horrible at spoiling things in a story."
Are you?
Apparently I am, because apparently if I even just say, "Ooh, watch this," I've ruined
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I
that
can't
is
even say
borderline.
that.
My son used to do that. I used
Yeah.
to give him a chop to the throat, and he learned to stop now. You know, he doesn't do it anymore now.
Very effective parenting.
Yes, yes.
Bushido used throat chop. It's very effective.
Believe me, you only have to do it once, you
Wow.
know.
All his children can now reenact like a dozen Bruce Lee.
Yes, yes. So my kids are tough, man. My kids are tough. They can take a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I'm big on that too, by the way, Bob. If you spoil anything for me, I'm going to be pissed. I don't like don't tell me nothing. Don't hint. Don't like intimate. Don't, oh man, wait till you get to I don't want to hear anything. So I'm big on that
Yeah.
too. So yeah, don't tell me anything.
Or if you give your theory on the game and somebody goes,
Right.
you're like, wait, what?
Oh
What?
yeah, when they
Right.
like subtly they destroy it for you while trying to
Yeah.
be subtle. Oh, you
Yeah.
bet. Yeah.
Like, keep watching.
Yep.
So what games has everybody got pre-installed on their hard drives right now?
Hundreds of games.
I've got
Pre-installed,
well, I
not
have the
installed.
Oh,
Pre-installed,
Oh, I
waiting
got
for
a few games
release.
pre-installed.
I don't know if I pre-installed it
I
or
got
if I just
Stalker.
pre-ordered it. I got Stalker, yeah. I bought it. I might have pre-installed it. Stalker, and I have oh god, there's one more I can't. I think I pre-installed Scorn. Just because
I did too. Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Scorn and Stalker I have pre-installed. Yeah.
I have none pre-installed right now.
I remember when they first showed.
And oh shoot, the new Plague Tale.
Oh yeah,
you know
that
what?
was
You know
the
what?
third
I think I
option.
do too. Yeah, I think I do too.
I need to get
That one looks so good. The first game, narratively, was fan-freaking-tastic.
It was
I thought it was a little boring in the beginning, but once it really got past just the intro of the game really, really became excellent.
I agree.
And setting it in that sort of that middle-aged Gallic French era, I think, worked so
Garlic?
well for it. Gallic, French garlic. Is that not that?
Like garlic bread?
No, like a gall, it's a gall is what it's okay. Forget it. But French. Oh my
I'm sitting
god!
laughing at myself like, is he really going to answer me?
I'm the only person that can be intellect shamed. You know that never happens to anyone else.
Tone it down, smarty pants.
I gotta start eating more like lead paint that's playing with mercury.
Right.
You know, I don't know something.
You say what? Eating crayons? Yeah. Who has it?
I got 2 syllables policy on this with you guys.
2 syllable policy.
Oh man.
Oh man.
I loved it too, though. I thought the setting and them having it, being during the dark. What is it? The plague, basically. The Black Plague. I
the
thought
Dark
that was
Ages.
nice. Yeah, I thought that was smart, and I like it. The only thing that annoyed me, of course, and I hate this in games, right, are the hanger-ons. When you have that side character, you have to.
Is it me or Umber got a little quieter?
Did I?
Yeah,
you got a little bit quieter. See, Pete understands. He knows what a gall is. Thank you, Pete.
I knew what it. All right, never mind.
I'm just saying, at least I'm not the only one here that's ever read a damn book.
No, that's all right. You act like you act like you never joked with me before. That's all right. No, you can shine. Go ahead, show off. Go ahead. That's all right.
No, go for it. Go for it. Yeah, no, you don't have to hang
No,
on the
that's
fridge.
all right. No. That's all right.
He had to look it up anyway. So
Look, it's like, no, I haven't finished looking it up.
Right.
That shows
like
how much you
goal.
know. That shows
like
how much you know.
Right. He's like, goal, mate? Is that a goal, you mean? Let me look that up, mate. Hold up, mate.
Don't listen to them, Pete.
France was
just
originally
jealous.
called gold by the Romans. Okay, oh, I see, mate. That's all it is, Pete. You don't.
That was good.
Actually, it was called Gaul by the Celts. France.
Yeah.
By the Romans. Just saying, whatever.
Yeah, it says by the Romans though, who gave them the name to the entire area where the
Celtics Gaul was Gaul's a Celtic tribe, but they called it Francia. But Gaul.
Are we looking this shit up on Wiki right now? What the hell?
I literally Googled that.
Umbra
when I don't know something, I will Google. Wow. Yeah. But no, I appreciate that knowledge. I do. But I was going to say, that game is really dope when it comes to that. The only thing that I found was annoying, like I said, is when you have to navigate a game. Like, think of Resident Evil 4, where you have to bring the president's daughter with you, and it's like, I gotta fight these zombies and protect you.
Damn.
Right. Climb the ladder, ho. Climb the ladder. Yes, I'm looking at your drawers. Yes, I'm looking at your underwear. Yes, I am. Just climb the damn ladder, because she'll try. Oh, don't look. Just climb the ladder. You know it's a zombie behind me, right? Climb the damn ladder. I'm trying to worry about
her dignity is such a priority.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Protect your damn
not
innocence.
the undead cannibals. Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, right. Being eaten alive. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing. So you got your brother, and he's like, Amicia. I'm like, shut up.
Oh, yo. He got on my nerves so freaking bad.
He got what he was like. It wasn't annoying. I wouldn't say he was like a baby Yoda, right? Like not the best, most adorable.
No, baby Yoda was not. Wait. Now you're about to get cussed out on live podcast, radio, TV.
Okay, no, I'm just saying. I thought his edition.
No, I heard what you said the first time. You was wrong, but that's all right. Annoying like baby Yoda. Wow.
No, I said not annoying like baby.
You said not annoying like baby Yoda. See?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you saying Grogu was annoying?
No, I'm saying quite the opposite. I'm saying that the brother.
Well, you're saying it backwards then, Yoda, because
backwards it is.
Backwards you were saying it.
Right. No, but I thought
he wasn't
like baby. He wasn't the level of baby Yoda, right? Where. But I thought that the way they incorporated him, right, in terms of he wasn't the hindrance, or
no, he wasn't. That's
he wasn't the liability. I thought it was constant.
I do agree with that.
Which the only thing I didn't like was his voice. Amicia. I was like, shut up.
Well, I mean,
that really annoyed me.
7-year-old.
Yeah, I know. Even I kept saying it myself too. I kept saying like, dude, he's the kid. But I couldn't help it though. I just kept saying to myself, I know he's a kid, but it's so annoying. I'm like, don't get your stuff together.
Yeah. And I got a bad experience. Like, have you all ever watched any of those shows where they have the kids and the kids make the dumbest decision and it costs everybody something?
Yep.
Like, have you all ever seen that show? What was the name of that damn show? It was The Vampires. What is the name of that show?
You talking about Breaking Dawn? Is that the ones you talking about that series? I think you watched that.
The Strand.
No. What's it called? The Strand?
The Strand. No, yo, that was the joint.
The Strain.
Yes.
The Strain.
The Strain. Thank you.
Yes,
that was it. Yeah.
So on the Strain, I'm not going to give anything away, but there's a
actually ended pretty good too.
It did, but that boy.
Yeah.
I hated him with a passion. He was like one of the only kids. He was like him outside of him and Joffrey in Game of Thrones were the only two kids where I wished death on them.
Yo, I really did with Joffrey
was like a little hit. Yeah, Joffrey was like a little hit.
Yeah, Joffrey
was. I mean,
that was.
He really was.
Yeah, he was.
He was like Nero.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Feeding people to lions and shit. That kid murdering,
torturing,
inbred.
Right, torturing the prostitutes and all of that.
See, he said lions got to eat too.
They do.
Killing hookers and whatnot.
He's right. No, that's not untrue.
But the strain was definitely good. It was just that boy, I could not. I was like, you call your idiocy cost humanity.
Yep.
Almost.
Just about.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's how trash he was. So I just got a bad thing when it comes to that, and like hanger-ons when it comes to a game or stuff like that. I hate it.
I was okay with just destroying New York. You know what I mean? I was totally
Right.
fine with that. It was New York. I let
Hey, listen,
it go.
listen.
You know,
If it's
the
New
minute it was
York, you know,
them, they
next is
go,
Boston.
yeah, well, you know, unless they go your
Quiet.
direction, they could take Philly too. You know, I don't give a shit.
No.
It's a
There's
50-50 split.
too
I
much of a
understand,
gap
but
between New York and Philly. Come on now, be realistic. Look, now you have to be realistic.
I mean, I would go into geography,
Oh,
but we've
man.
seen how well that's done me.
Yeah, right.
First of all, it's called geology. Thank you very much.
Yeah, study of stones.
Bobo said
I did that in space
he
one
fed the
time,
kid to the Reds.
and I called it geology, and I was shocked how many people let that slide. I had to say it again twice for somebody to finally catch it, and only one person caught it. I was like, "Dad, go on, nobody
Oh,
listens."
yeah,
Sheesh.
yeah,
I think you
Pyro,
were just
that's right.
around a lot.
Maybe.
Boba Fett, you're sadistic. He said he fed him to the rats in chapter 2. That's messed up. Oh
It is
man.
kind of
So
But yeah,
on to the next topic. Who is loving Hot Wheels and Forza Horizon 5?
I haven't gotten it yet.
I am.
I admit, yeah,
It's
me
free.
neither.
I didn't pay. I don't think I paid for it. It just automatically
Isn't it
downloaded.
like $7? It's like
You paid for
$17,
it.
I thought. And yeah, I think
Yeah, I
it's
thought
like
it was, yeah.
$17.
Yeah, if you bought that, and I didn't know I paid for it either yet. And I saw it. I'm like, you have it installed. I'm like, what? So if you bought that not the pre, but if you bought that
The premium add-on for
exactly,
Yep, I did. That's why I got
that's
it.
Yeah,
what
then
it
you got
was.
it.
Yep. So I
Gotcha.
bought it because I don't like to have to search for all the XP boards and all that. I'm like, put them on a map. I don't have time for this. I'll do that. It's whatever, little change, whatever. And I forgot that
Yep.
it had that DLC included with it. So I had it right here. So just fortunate.
Oh, cool.
Loved it. I'm loving it, rather. I'm not going to say love because I'm not finished, but it is. I posted about it on my Twitter. It's just, man, nothing but pure fun and adrenaline. And we did a convoy, a lot of us. It was myself, Crazy Louie, my boy Paul, AFC. Who else? Steel Rain. It was a lot of us. We had like a big convoy, and we just played a lot of races and things like that. Oh yeah, Silent Cipher. Pete. I don't know if Pete was there too at a point, but man, we had a blast, man. Another game I'm using Blast for. We had a ball. We did, and it's just fun as hell. Pure adrenaline. That's all I can. That's the best way I can describe it. When you all play that first race, the introductory race, with the Hot Wheels car, you're going to be sitting there like, damn. I mean, because the speed, the way the camera shakes a bit because you're moving so ridiculously fast, racing against that bomber jet or whatever it is, it's just like, man, nothing like it. Nothing like it. It's worth
So it's
every penny in my
100%
opinion.
worth it. It's 100% to $17. It's totally worth it.
To me, it is, yes. And especially if you're a racing fan and if you love Forza, and how can't you at this point? I mean, I
about
can
that.
see it's a niche thing, right? Racing and all of that. I get it.
Right.
It's not the biggest thing. But if you're going to play any racing game, why not one of the best in the arcade racers or whatever in Forza Horizon and the DLC? So I would say, yeah, if you're even remotely a fan of racing, this is a must-have. I think, honestly, loving it.
Yeah, I've been seeing
You know,
people's screenshots. It's gorgeous.
I've got a screenshot of the leaderboard after a race where Bob is in first and Dealer's in last.
What?
Oh,
And speaking
Dealers
of
and
dealer,
last.
wait. Speaking of
Well,
dealer had it. Dealer had the one of the devs on his show this week, and
Yeah, he
somebody inside the chat said, "Why didn't you ask him about Fable?" I was dying.
did.
I was like, "Why would he ask about Fable?" And he said, "For Hot Wheels." I was dying.
They
And
like,
dealer
man,
had
look,
to
let's just
address
cut to
it.
this. They like, let's just put this
in
aside. What does
Yeah,
Halo look
let's
like?
put this aside. Tell us about Fable. He's like, "Well, I'm not working on Fable."
Yeah.
in Dealer's defense, he did miss a checkpoint right before he finished, which threw him all the way back to the end
I'll
of the
tell
pack.
you.
Well,
He
that's part
was
of
winning.
racing, you know. He's gonna have to suck it up.
Yeah.
He's
When
a big boy.
when we played the convoy and we were racing, I was like in first place. I missed one checkpoint, put me back in seventh. I was so mad. And so
Ooh.
it's nothing worse than racing in there and missing a checkpoint, especially if you're going against real people. If you're doing it,
Yeah.
solo, you can
Yeah.
you can make up for that.
You
But if
easy
you're going against
rewind it.
others,
Yeah.
yeah, you're going against others, it's over with. You lost. So yeah, it sucks when that happens, but unfortunately, but yeah. And I'm a dirty racer, by the way. I do not do that whole respectable. I'll just draft
Nope.
behind
You
you.
run
No,
along
me
the
either.
road.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
either.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
You
If I
you think
put
we was playing
you
Burnout?
yeah,
going around the corner, if I could put you between me and
In that
the
corner?
rail, that's
Yep.
that's
Yep.
that's
That's what's
happening.
gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. So don't be
Yeah. I'll
surprised. Yeah.
run you.
All right, so uh, coming up on the close of the show here in a little while, I just want to remind everybody: like, share, subscribe, tell a buddy or two. As we get into our last topic, we're going to take a little walk down memory road. Now, we are a bunch of men here, but we're not bulletproof, and video games have, if you are a gamer at one point in time, a game has made you emotional and really sunk its hooks into you. And we're going to start with Infinite Umbra. When was that moment, and what game was it?
you know, as a man, it's something, right? Like we're taught not to kind of bear our emotions like that. We're taught the opposite, really. So
Which
for a
is
long
shame.
time, yeah. So for a long time, raised by my uncles, strong men, and I was raised by women too. My mother, my grandmother, strong people, just strong people, right? So you kind of taught to put that aside, not to show that. But there are a few games, man, that really did pull that out of me, and I felt embarrassed to talk about it at first. But now I'm older. That doesn't mean anything to me now. I understand better that that's not a weakness to do that. I mean, unless you're probably crying to everything. Oh, look at that cat. Yeah, maybe you might want to go talk to somebody about that.
Oh, that sunset's so beautiful. I
It's so
can't stop crying.
Ah,
It
the word
resonates.
right, cinematic. But yeah, my thing is I'm going past that. So it's been a bunch of games that really got me emotional like that. The one that I can speak on, I guess, is recent. That recency bias that will kick in for me has to be Red Dead Redemption 2, bar none. And I would have said something like The Last of Us, but I think no game, at least that I can speak of, and I thought Red Dead Redemption 2 I think it's a masterpiece, by the way. I don't think there's any game that I've played in modern, in this gen or just at the end of the last gen that I can think of that really connected with me so much. And when you're playing as Arthur, and I hate to give off a bit of a spoiler if anybody hasn't played it, so please close your ears if you haven't. For
Hey,
Red
that's what
Dead
I meant to
Redemption.
say too when we do this segment. Spoiler, alert. So if you guys
Yep.
hear something about a specific game and you haven't played it yet, you might want to give it a couple minutes after you hear the name to, turn the volume back up or whatever.
Yep. So spoiler warning, everybody. I'm talking about Red Dead Redemption 2 and its ending. So basically, you play as Arthur Morgan, and at first I remember when they introduced us to him, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be a prequel. And I was like, I like John Marston. I don't feel like playing
It's
him.
the same thing.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this new guy. Who's this? And why is it a prequel? Why do I have to do that? But then that game turned around everything I thought that I did want, man. That game was just spectacular. To me, it's better than every way compared to part one. And you get to a point where Arthur he finds out that he has tuberculosis, he has TB, and he's dying from it. After all that, that's what's taking him down. After all that rough living and killing and surviving throughout the wilderness and rough times, that's what's getting him. And that was powerful right there. And he comes to a point where he talks to the sister, and when I mean sister, and I mean someone, Catholic, sister. So
None.
he's talking nun. That's the best way I could put it. There you go. Not the Sister Act variety, but he's talking to her at a train station, and he's like, I'm scared. And this is this super tough macho dude saying this, and that voice acting is so spectacular, and the animation for him when he looks at her, and you can see all that hurt and fear in his face. And man, I choked up. I'm not gonna lie to you. That brought a tear to my eye because I had grown at that point to really love that character as Arthur, and getting my horse, and he's like, "That's a good boy," and it's like,
Yeah.
you grew to love this man, and how he
And
talked
the horse.
and the horse. Oh no, don't even get me on the horse because I thought I wouldn't give a damn about that horse, but you come to a point as well where the horse is, shot and
Ooh,
hurt.
the horse thing did get me too.
Yeah,
Not
that
even
got
on
me
front.
too. It was like
Yeah,
back
that
to
was hard.
back to
That
back.
was hard.
Yeah, so
Animals are always hard, though. Animals are
Now-
always hard.
sometimes, right? But like some
Yeah, but
animals I
he
could
was
do
with
without.
you through everything in the beginning, and he
Absolutely.
was your faithful steed, and
Yep.
it was a lot more than just it being the animal. It's like it was a part of you and your adventure, and
Yep.
no, I'm with you with that.
Yeah, when he was
But you're right
like,
though, animals are hard though. Yeah,
yeah, but that one's particularly definitely got me. And when, like I said, when he realized his mortality, he's like, man, I'm about to die. He realized it's over for him. So he just said, I'm afraid. And that's I think that's just true. I think if you're facing mortality, you know that your time is up. You know how serious it is. That reality has to hit you like a ton of bricks at some point. And I felt that with him. I know it's a testament to the voice acting of Roger Craig, and it's a testament to the animation that Rockstar put into that game. It's just, to me, it's just next level. I
and
don't
the
think there's
writing.
the writing, the animation, the voice acting, everything came together so beautifully. And then, of course, at the end, when he succumbs to it after trying to warn Dutch, who I came to hate, by the way.
Oh my God, I hated Dutch.
Man, he made me sick.
He's a
I got
perfect
it.
villain, though. He was
He
the
was, but
perfect
he was,
villain.
Yeah,
but he was. I got a plan. I'm just, man, your plan takes some time, doesn't it?
I read him from the very
Yeah.
beginning
I did too.
when he kept having that type of mentality. I said, dudes like that are usually shysters. I said,
Yep.
why'd he be like that? And sure enough,
Yeah, he was a charlatan.
He
but to
was.
the level he was at, you will that is different as opposed to knowing that he was a charlatan. Like when
Yeah.
you get to
Right, he
see
had
what
almost
level
like
he at.
this sort of cult following. It was
He
almost
did.
Yeah,
cultish.
yeah,
You
Sure
felt
did.
bad for the characters, like
Yep.
they were
yeah.
so blind.
Because he guilted you into everything.
He
Sheesh.
does. He does. And you think he's supposed to have this charm and everything like that. And I guess it can work for some people, but I'm not that type of guy. So when I saw it, I
Yeah.
was just like, this dude is a slickster.
Yep. It turned me off
Yeah,
automatically too. Yep.
automatically. Yep. So I saw through him and I was like, I see where this is going already. I already know where it's going. And so before I even got to that point, I knew it was going to go that way. And sure
Yeah.
enough, he gained in there and he turned his back against you and everything. I'm like, this dude, man, is trash. But and Arthur looks out into the sunset and the music kicks on, and
Oh, his final scene, man.
Yeah, with that song. Yeah.
Yep. What is it? I forgot this how it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when he's
it
riding
goes
the
just like that.
horse.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And listen, when they was riding off in the horse chase, that even was emotional when everybody was on their horses together. You want to talk about like a man, I can't even think of a movie, not even Dirty Dozen. I'm thinking of Dirty Dozen. I don't know why it's a military movie. I forgot what movie I was thinking about, but to see them all riding off like that. Oh, Tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It reminded me
it
of
was
Tombstone when they're all riding
I'm your
together. Yeah.
Huckleberry. Right.
Yeah.
It was either that or Young Guns.
Young Guns did it
Both
too.
actually. Yeah. How about that? Yeah. How about that?
Yeah,
Both
Young
fit in that
Guns.
category.
Emilio Estevez and
Sure did. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That was a
Kiefer
good choice.
Sutherland. Yeah.
You-
So
You stole one of mine, man. That was one of my picks too.
yeah, man. And then he passed away, and it didn't show it, but he, which it did show it pretty much. I mean, you heard him breathe his last breath, and you saw him looking into the sunset, and
Ooh,
it was just powerful, man. I felt so sad after that. And then you have to play on as Marston. It was like, I don't even want to play this anymore.
Yo, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't
It's
want
like,
to play as
yeah.
anyone other than Marston. And then when you got the chance to play him, you didn't even want to do that.
I swear. I'm like, I don't
Yep,
want to
I
play
said the
this
same
dude.
thing. I didn't want to
It's the
play as
power of that
Arthur.
narrative.
Yeah. I'm
But
like,
I will
where's my damn Arthur at? I don't want to play with no damn Arthur.
Right. But I will admit one thing though. When you got to play as John, I thought it was too long. But as time went along, I felt more inclined with that character or in line with that character because of the fact that I got to see everything else going with him, especially the thing when he ran into the O'Driscolls at that little camp that wasn't that far away from you.
Right. Yeah.
Right, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
that's a
damn
game I would
O'Driscolls.
love to replay, but it's so long.
It is.
Yes.
It's very time consuming. Especially, don't dare try to do any of the side things and like hunt and all that. You'll be on that game for
Finding
like
legendary
right.
animals and fishing.
Yep. And I did all of that through my
I
playthrough.
did too. I did too.
And
I played that game for almost a year.
and that's what really pulls you in because you do so much of like
Yeah.
real world stuff like that. And then I had my Arthur like
Finding gold.
swagged out and clean.
Yep.
But then when he started getting sick, I started kind of dressing him down to like not care about that. I really
Right.
got into it, like so. But yeah, that's mine. Sorry, so long winded, guys.
No, that was a good one.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, yeah. That's what this section's for. I can't wait to hear Mr. Bushido.
I had a few of them, but I got one. I'm gonna leave. I think because Jack has got me and Jack were talking about it too, and Jack had one of mine too. I'm trying to think. All right. I'm gonna say what one character got me, and I think I actually did have a few tears. Is when Dom found his wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
That right
Took
there.
it from me, Mr. Bushido.
Ooh, that one right there. I'm gonna let you describe it then, and I'll move on to another game. The other game is I'm not gonna give up what happens, but this game wasn't even so like that, but it was critically acclaimed because of the story and the ending. The ending comes completely out of left field. I promise you don't know what's going on. And that's Spec Ops: The Line, if you haven't played it. The end of that game was powerful. Like, it was a huge statement.
Yeah.
I wish I could, like I said, I would like to give that one up as far as like story plot's concerned, but I'm concerned that somebody hasn't played it, and this is an ending that you really need to see. It really gives up about concern you should be about our veterans and those who have been through conflicts and things like that. It was deep. The end was strong though. I'm not even going to get into it that deeply, but yeah.
It was pretty powerful. I definitely agree. But I agree too. Like, not that many people may have played that, so
a lot of people didn't play it.
Yeah, so you're definitely smart not to spoil it because more people probably did not play that than what I named.
I guarantee at the end of that game, anybody who played it because they just heard my voice and I said it will hit me back and say, "Yo, dude, you was right. I can't believe I skipped on this game." Listen, the only reason why I played it was because it was I think it was really cheap at the time or whatever. But yeah, it just didn't sell well. And it was a really good game, especially narratively.
Yeah,
really
Pete mentioned it in the comments where he's talking about all the guys that were hanging from the bridge. Like, that's obviously, Fallujah.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
So,
yeah.
I actually know a guy that was there, and had stories about that. So, yeah, that's a pretty powerful thing, hanging from bridges. So definitely Pete on that one.
Yeah.
I think you're 100% right. Yeah, I'll get that. That was moving.
So my story about, I've already, let it be known that me and the wife, we play through the Gears games together and we play through the Halo games together. And, and I know I'm not the only one to look at it like this, but Gears was really the first really adult experience that any of us ever really, that they ever really gave us on console. I mean, it was gritty, and it was serious, and to be in a relationship, in a marriage, and to actually feel Dominique's pain searching for his wife, Maria, and carrying that picture around of her with him. When he finally does find her, and I remember when I was back here in the study playing, and my wife was on her Xbox out in the living room playing, and we found Maria and what she had become. It was just silence over the headset, and there was silence because we had both taken our headsets off when we met each other in the middle of the house, and we cried. It was a very touching and emotional moment.
That's
when
powerful.
he had to end her
Yeah.
life, end her suffering.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
that's
She was
powerful stuff.
she's what grounded him and to keep fighting.
And what's crazy about that is like look how heavy that was, where it had you guys meet up in the house. You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
powerful stuff right there, man.
Yeah,
And
that's
and if we
yeah,
yeah,
it's literally moving.
it is. And you think about stuff like that, and I look at the character progression. You see how, like Bushido just pointed out, Dom, that was what was pushing him on, is that trying to, finding his wife. He was upbeat the entire time before that happened. After that happened, he was suicidal. He didn't care anymore.
Sure enough.
He saved
his
the rest
reason.
of the group by giving his life in the
Yeah.
third one.
Yep, that was the
Yep.
more powerful one for me, by the way. That one,
That was
especially when
too.
it kicked
Yeah.
in.
Yep.
Mad World kicked in. I started tears started flowing
Yeah,
right
that
there.
was that was
He
a
was my
rough one.
favorite character. He was my favorite character through the whole series. I really liked Dom.
And
You
I
like
felt
Dom?
like they really tried to replace that and kind of give a yin to Marcus's yang
Yeah. Yep.
after the departure of Dom, and nothing ever hit home.
No, only Dom was that for him.
No.
Dom was
I agree.
Yeah, that
Dom was
was
the
it.
only guy to me that kept him perfectly paced and balanced, and he fed off of Dom. As a matter of fact, to the degree of he almost never pushed back on Dom. I don't remember any time when Dom made a suggestion that he disagreed or, like I said, pushed back on it. He just was like, all right, yeah, what? I like that idea. Let's do this.
Yeah,
And
they
it
were
just went
such a
like that.
partnership. They were just
Yeah.
the same way. I think that, like, obviously Cole and Bad are clearly best friends.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they're
Dysfunctional, but
clearly
yep.
right. I think
Yep.
losing Dom was like losing half of Marcus. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
he was never the same after that.
True. Yep.
I liked the who was the Hawaiian guy or the Samoan guy that came in?
Ty.
That was Ty.
Ty.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't like what happened to him either. I was like, damn.
No, I didn't like that.
Yeah,
either.
that was a rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it. You keep killing them all. What are you doing?
Yeah.
All right. Jack Astronaut, you're up, man. Come on. Give us a tearjerker.
Yeah. So this is
Right,
it's not when I originally played it. It was nowhere near as powerful. As I got recently, playing it again it's from Mass Effect. So in Mass Effect 3, you meet Thane Krios. He's the Drell, the assassin, the green lizard guy, and for me, a lot of it was it became in life for personal reasons. He talks about how he was formed, into he may have killed, but he always felt like the weapon. He just took orders. And there was sort of a weird moral ambiguity with that I, for personal reasons, could relate to. And he got this disease, that he knew was slowly, eating. Nothing he could do about it, right? But just sort of reckon with it. And all the while this was happening, there was this giant gaping void, with his son, with a family member. And it was just, as his narrative went on, for, personal reasons in my life, I just, it's not something I would have related to 4 years ago or 3 years ago. But now, the direction that my life's personally taken, to see him, ultimately, on that deathbed in that hospital scene, religious, he became very religious and and sort of that's something that's kind of happened to me all the time. And to see him all at once have to reckon with, the decisions he's made and what he became, and this disease that took him, the lack of, family, and then having to sort of to confront his own mortality vis-a-vis his faith, his religion, at that very last second, and to see his and for ultimately at the end that faith, that sense of to uphold when they're all in that hospital room, standing around them. For some reason, just Thane, I will always remember that scene with Thane. And it's not like the biggest, like when I first heard this might be, I thought Sergeant Johnson, right? Because Halo 3, like losing him just actively made me angry.
Yeah.
You got rid of John, or like I really, really wanted to kill shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was actively angry.
Yeah, I didn't like
but
that.
I think, no, I didn't. You got like with his badass one-liners. He was the ultimate. He was like an '80s action figure. Everybody loved him.
How
He
about
had
that?
he always had this. He always had this cigar. I know what the ladies want.
I
like
know what the
everybody.
ladies like. Right.
Yeah, ladies like Johnson. Like he was the appeal. So that was the first. But I think now being older, so I would have said Johnson a couple years ago. But I think now being older, there's just something. There's something about the whole narrative of Thane, as the Drell that just it hit so deep, on a number of levels, and it's, for reasons that whatever. It's just such an analogous story for me that seen in any video game that I think is actively difficult for me to watch. So in terms of being moved, I would say Mass Effect 3, it would be the death Thane in that hospital room.
Yeah, that was a pretty powerful one. That's a good pick. I mean, Mass Effect itself is anything with that, obviously.
Everything about it, had some emotional. Yeah, it was just. I know. I think it is the greatest trilogy. I do, and I think
still do
Bushido
too,
and I.
It's one of them,
share that
I
opinion.
would say. I will still put Halo
it's top
TE
3.
original, and I'll put Halo 1, 2, and 3. To me, would be the greatest personal trilogy. But I do get that. I do agree that it's in the probably top 5 for me, or top 3 even maybe. Mass Effect.
Because
one thing I will say,
you could talk about 100. Because a lot
right,
of choices.
right. We talked about that before too.
Could lose Tally, and then Morden. I know me and Bushido, Morden still hurts.
Yeah,
about that.
the Morton thing was.
I think
was
everything on Mass Effect.
Rick.
No, but listen, he didn't know about the Morton joint. I mean, not Morton. The Tally thing until recently, because we all made about the same decisions, right? So I never knew that she had a death in the game. So when I decided to switch it up
on Rannoch,
I decided to switch it up. Yep.
Rannoch.
Yep. And when I tried to switch it up,
you can save them both. Save them
you
both.
can. No, you can. Exactly.
Yes, I've done it. You can. I've done it.
And so what happened was,
playthrough, but I did it.
Yep. I made a different decision, and she committed suicide. I'm not even gonna lie. I jumped up and was like, "No! Listen, this is old school. This is old school." First of all, it hurt.
It was so. She was there at the beginning.
Yes, it hurt seeing it. But I'm gonna tell you what I did. That was old school. I literally jumped up and hit the power button.
So it didn't save. You could go back and
like I'm stopping this at all
you could go
costs.
back and do it again.
Yes, I was like, no. I actually sat there while it was coming back on. Was like, yo, she actually killed herself.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Like right on that cliff, right, looking at the sky.
Yep, she just felt did a swan dive backwards swan dive, and I was like, he tried to reach out for her. Well, I was playing Filmship at the time, and she tried to reach out for her, and it just was like out of her reach. But you could tell from the decision you made, it really impacted her because her whole voice inflection. You want to talk about voice acting. Man, you could tell that really bothered her, and when she it
was like the world's saddest Russian. Like you just heard it, and it was like some Orthodox tragedy. I remember that.
It was deep, yeah, it was deep. I remember flipping it.
You're like, no, you ain't gonna get me.
I was like, please let me get a chance. Listen, I had to redo the boss fight, I think, again. You think I cared?
Oh, yeah, with that Reaper? Yeah, where you gotta hit it with the beam.
I did not care, and it already gave me a hard time the first time. For some reason, the next time I did it with that reset, it wasn't that bad. But still, though,
You were determined that time. You're like, nope.
Because otherwise, you're left there just looking at Legion like, this is what I got. Like, what is this trade? Yeah.
Little Legion's like, thanks.
Oh my god. Yeah. And I liked Legion, but he was
I did too.
Yeah.
I was kind of mad not to see him again either. I thought he was a really cool character, but I understood, I thought what happened.
Yeah. I was going to say it's interesting, by the way, Jack, because we had a space. It was Inferno hosted it. Bushido, you remember that? He was talking about Mass Effect, and Cozy said almost word for word what you said about Thane. That was her. That was the biggest.
That was her thing. Yep.
Yeah. So it's
funny.
And, she loved him.
Well,
because
you guys know,
love letter,
you guys know my
character and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know my backstory, so watching it again,
you're feeling back,
because I remember, I remember like playing the original, when 3 first came out, and it was like, okay, this is sad, and then playing it now, I feel you, and I think those moving moments are when you can really resonate with the character, for good or bad, and I think for me, I don't think there's any scene in any game that for me rivals that Thane moment. So, but it was good too. It was weird because, at the end, the last thing they did, they was vindicate his, you know what I mean? Like, there was always that, you have to reckon with, whatever your religious orthodoxy is, your beliefs, and he held to it, like he never gave us a silver lining to that, then its tragedy can come. But yeah, I think Thane would be mine, I think unequivocally. Yeah,
powerful character, religious,
Solus was another one. Morton was another one too.
Conflicting though, because he's like this assassin, but he's so religious, and he was a great character. I can definitely see why that resonates with so many people. And another one I'll throw out.
Yeah, and like,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it was the part where like he just kept saying he's like, I am what they made me, I'm the gun.
He was very poetic,
he was.
Yeah,
he
so
just
just like
also a cool ass looking character, by the way. I love this character.
He really was. He really was. I put the figure. The figure's not as good looking as he is because they got him stuck in a certain position, but still cool though, man. I still had to have it.
Yep. But I was going to say another one that's powerful. I just throw it out there really quickly is Halo 4 for sure. Pete mentioned it a while ago, but that part, of course, the ending, of course, with him and Cortana, man, that's partly why I give 343 so much leeway, is because I thought they did a great job with Halo 4 and actually making Chief feel human, where he was previously just this unemotional, robot, and they still play into that, of course, and speak to that by showing Cortana being more human than he was. But then at that moment, you see how human he was when he lost somebody who, who all purposes and intents he loves in Cortana. That was just powerful. They showed how the world come crumbling down around him after, in the space, when he was in space. It was just powerful all around to me. But I was going to say, read that what Pyro said right there.
He said, here's something I wanted to ask the panel, KY Bob. Who hates Pyro for choosing Dell over JD in Gears 5?
I thought Dell was more.
I didn't like JD. I didn't like JD.
I didn't. JD was the epitome. He was. See, the problem with JD was this: he was all right. He was the only officer, and if any of you know, he was like, he was kind of a pick, like every officer.
Yep.
When I got the choice, I know he was Marcus's son. When I got the choice, I was like, nah, fuck this guy, and I killed him, and I saved Dell.
I'm gonna tell you, I played with Dell. I like Dell. Played through the whole campaign with us. I could not put Marcus through that. I'm sorry, Dale. I had to let Dale die. I could.
Wow.
In my head, in my heart, I was like, man. Nah. That's how. This is crazy, because this is how crazy it is. It's like what you were talking about, Bushido. It's like, these are not real people. But I felt for Marcus like, nah, I can't put my boy through that. And if this is going to carry on to part 6, there ain't no way in the world I'm going to put him through that after what happened to Anya.
Right. I'm sorry, I did too.
JD is such an asshole.
I like them better in the second one. I like JD better in the second one because he became
nothing
humble.
redeemable
I
about
agree.
him. I just,
Yeah.
You know what?
I got the chance to kill an officer, and I did. So I have no regrets. I
You
have
had a
no
clear shot.
regrets.
You
I
took
took
it.
it.
I just couldn't
that
do
was
it.
like I'm surprised that was a quiz I ever made in a game.
Yeah. And you know, JD, I think he was just brash, right? Like, I don't think he was so
Yeah.
much an asshole as he was like trying to live up to what his father did, and because of that, it made
If
him
he was
he made
reckless,
bad
though.
decisions. Yeah, he was reckless
Yeah.
because of it, trying to live up to the great Marcus, and I mean, they spoke on that, and you could see it, like what he did.
Yeah.
And but he was courageous, stupid maybe, but courageous as hell.
Yeah.
Like how he
But
ran out there
I don't
fighting
think
all
he
those things.
purposely. Yeah, I don't think he purposely meant to, put somebody else's life in jeopardy
Exactly. Yeah, he
either.
didn't.
Yeah.
It was just him trying to live up to his father, and he made the dumbest decision.
Yeah.
I
at
just
that
couldn't
moment.
get over it.
Yeah.
He like his father was a sergeant, right? A shit kicking, fucking
Mhm.
regular NCO, right? Like an actual shit kicker, and then he's a fucking lieutenant. Like he felt like a spoiled little rich kid with daddy. I had no problem capping him.
Yeah, that's how I felt the first year.
I
Yeah.
liked Dell as a character. I liked
Yeah, I
Dell
did
more
like
than
Dell as a
JD.
character, yeah.
It was an easier call for me to make than probably a lot. But I was downright beat to kill JD.
He said, "Man, I wasn't that bad, but still."
Yeah. You're right.
I was
You're
happy.
good, by the way. I didn't even remember their ranks like that, but you're right. Marcus is
Yeah,
a
dude.
sergeant.
How about that?
Yep. And JD is absolutely a lieutenant. You're right.
Yeah, he's just another arrogant officer. So I was happy to
That's
see.
why you remember
it. Yeah.
Because I marked him. When I saw El
sergeant.
Lieutenant, when they started calling him Lieutenant Phoenix, I was like, oh my god, this guy's gonna be and I wasn't wrong. You know what I mean? I knew it. I knew he was gonna. And then when I had a choice, I made sure. Oh, I don't think it took me. It only took me the time to move the cursor, like 2.5 seconds. That's just to click the button. It was no option for me.
It was tough for me. I did not
JD
expect it. I was stuck. I was like, no, I can't. I don't know which one to pick. And I was like, I can't put that on my boy Marcus.
Give me that killer. I'll make it for you.
Dude, JD struck me as the guy that just didn't get enough daddy love, and he was still looking for it well into adulthood.
Yeah,
I can see that.
He was just an arrogant prick who could never live up to his father, who actually did real shit, and he came in with his fancy little diploma and started bossing people around, and I killed his ass, and I'm happy.
He said, "Now do it again."
I'll do it again.
Oh, goddamn right then. I don't think I've ever played it and let him live. In both playthroughs, I think I said.
Yeah, I don't think I did either.
That's how much I hate JD.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. I was just, my thoughts went immediately to Marcus. That's what it was for me.
You know what's messed up about that? When you got games like that, you need to experience what happens if you don't do this. It's not like it's your only playthrough, but for some reason, I'll give you a prime example. Like in Mass Effect, I had to keep messing with what's her name, the hot one, Miranda. Like every time I had to mess with Miranda, it took me the longest to finally date somebody else like Tally, Jack, and what's the other one's name? I still ain't do Ashley yet. Well, not. I mean, do.
Oh, Ashley,
I mean,
you know what? Ashley in Mass Effect 3, that's the best one, man.
Yo, when she was in 2, she got better looking, but in 3, she was looking right.
Oh yeah, she could have. That character model could have had her OnlyFans, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm telling you, Miranda was for me all the way through.
Yeah. Listen, I couldn't do it.
That was it. Yep.
Yeah, that was it. She was way too freaking fine.
I saw the digital ass.
In the back of my head,
that's her.
In the back of my head, I think what really helped her was just knowing it was Yvonne Strahovski. So I don't know if I liked Miranda so much as I was obsessed with the idea of like banging a digital Yvonne Strahovski. You know what I mean?
Why you thinking so deeply about it? Why are you thinking so deeply?
I'm very cerebral about who I had sexual relations with in the RPGs. These are
RPGs.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. It's a role-playing game. I'm just saying.
Damn.
What did Pyro say?
Oh, damn.
He said he chose the government over his brother's squad. Infinite Numbers Marcus adopted Dell to get a better son.
Yeah.
100%. Thank you. Yes. Dell. Promote Dell.
The better son.
Let Dell be in charge.
Yeah, I like Dell was
Actually, you know
Dell
who I
was a
think
little
should
more
have led that
level-headed,
squad?
but
The best officer would have been Kohler Bad. Kohler Bad would have been the best in charge. Kill him or don't, whatever. Like I think they would have. Yeah.
Barrett was too happy-go-lucky at a point. I mean, he matured clearly by the time we see him in 4 and such. But I think before that, his attitude was just too I don't know, reckless for him to be in charge like that.
Character in the whole game. Bad is my favorite character in all of Gears of War.
Barrett is cool. I'd probably say Cole would be after Marcus.
Yeah, I think I like Bad because he's a smart ass, all the time.
I did like that about Barrett.
The relationship.
I like Barrett as an older guy, though. I don't know why.
He has with Cole, though.
Yeah, Coltrane he's just, whoa, bring it out, sucker.
Woo! Yeah, when you see him in that courtyard, just curb stomping him.
Yeah.
And
you know who else I loved? I wish they would have given him some type of DLC or something like that.
Dizzy
was
the hillbilly.
I like Dizzy too, but what's his name?
Dizzy.
One of the brothers. What's his name?
The Carmines.
The Carmine. If they
man,
Benjamin Carmine.
So wait, how many were there? There was Ben Carmine.
3 or 4.
Yeah, I think it's like 4 of them. I think.
Yeah,
it's like 3 or 4.
Yep. You remember in Gears
for a while there, I was starting to feel like the Carmines. I was starting to feel like they were a reincarnation of
the same person.
Of Timmy from South Park because they kept dying. I mean, it's like the guy in the red shirt on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Whenever you met
you're
a
right.
new Carmine, you were like, "Oh, he's dead this game."
Right.
Don't worry,
now, the Carmines died so often. You got 3. They actually ran a poll where you could vote on if you wanted.
Yep, whether you lived or died.
They didn't tell you which Carmine it was going to be, but the next Carmine. And I think people killed him. I'm pretty sure we killed him.
Yeah, they killed him. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, the community wanted to kill him. Yeah. I was like, that's looking at their family. It was like saving Private Ryan. You're like, God damn, how many boys are they going to lose?
That's exactly what it was like. You're right. That's a good comparison. And I was going to say Clayton is the one. I think he's the last living one. Clayton. And there was a 4th one. It is. Yeah, he's the grub hunt killer. He's the one that got the tattoo on his arm. And he's big as hell. But so you can see he's a badass through and through. The other Carmines we see, they're pretty small and they were just joining. But Clayton, he had been in there for a minute. And he became a G.
Because I think he's the oldest one, they said, right? He was the first one to get drafted, the first one to go,
Yeah, I think it's either him and it's another Carmine too. They never showed him though, the 4th one. So he could be alive, just to say. But Clayton is the grub killer, so he's still alive.
God, now I just want Gear 6 so bad. Damn you all.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of our night. Yeah, we've taken a walk down memory lane. Talked about the offerings on Game Pass right now while we're waiting on a bona fide AAA first party game, Xbox. And we've talked about Stray, which I will play tomorrow. Just downloaded it. Start off with top of the list. Infinite Umbra. Sir, where can people find you?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me again, Bob. Man, it was a blast. That's the 3rd time I've used that word tonight. I love chopping it up with you guys. You already know that, Bushido and Jack. You already know that. So it's all love between you guys. Bob, I've had the fortunate opportunity of speaking with you not only here, but on parties, chats as well. Great guy. Yeah. I say that, without trying to sound like a kiss up. I actually do feel you're a decent dude. So I say that full-heartedly, because if I don't like you, I'm not showing up on your show. I'm just going to tell you that right now. But yeah, brother, I appreciate you having me on, and the same for Bushido and Jack. I love talking with you guys and talking games and stuff. It's always a pleasure. I always learn something new. You all can find me, of course, on under Infinite Umbra or Umbra Infinite on Twitter, and on Xbox under Super Havoc. And of course, you can find me on our podcast tomorrow, at least for us normal American folks, Fridays at 8 Eastern, And for the future Aussie people like Jedi here, there's a Saturday for them. And I think it's like, what, 10 o'clock in the morning, Jedi, or something like that? 9? Something like that for them future people.
Yeah.
But yeah, you all can find me there. And also now that I'm a regular on Boom's podcast, Xbox Factor.
That's right.
So you can find me there on Tuesdays, noon Eastern. So thank you all for coming through and supporting us like you always do.
Yes, definitely. Mr. Bushido, sir.
Well, you can find me on the Twitters underneath the same name, or you can find me on Fridays on the Doomsayers Den, which is at 6:30. The other podcast that me and Jack are on, also Jack and excuse me, which is
I knew you were gonna, asshole.
the Spooky Sprocket Show, and you can catch us with our antics there also, and the same thing on the box.
And here every Thursday, right, Mr. Bushido? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was about to do his voice.
You're always doing my voice. No, that was it though.
And Jack Astronaut, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can.
And you're not supposed to talk. Mr. Bushido's supposed to talk for you.
Yeah. Well, first of all,
He said voice. He said voice.
Oh my God. My lawyer advised me not to, my whereabouts. But you can find me on Twitter on the same name, the Jack Astronaut. You can also find me as Bushido elucidated very earlier on the Doomsayers Den. It is at 6:30 on Fridays, but it will not be this Friday. We're dealing with a basement flood. So no episode this Friday. On Saturday, you can catch us on the Backlog Bastards podcast. And I do that obviously with Bushido, Spooky Sprocket, and Charlie Hustle will be there. And yes, antics do continue. I just want to thank you so much, Bob, for having me. Thank you. God bless to every one of you guys, and I hope you have a great night. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I forgot we have Dealer on this weekend too. I almost forgot.
We were saving that, and I'm not. That was supposed to be Spook's big announcement.
Oh
God!
Jack, you messed it up, man.
Everybody,
Jack, why you
spoil it.
Yeah, we'll just erase that part of the show.
Yeah. Damn it, Bushido.
Oh man. You drove me to it.
How did I drive you to it? The last thing I said was God bless. How does
Listen,
that drive you to be a dumbass?
At this moment, it's semantics, okay? I mean, we'll just
semantics. Those are the exact words. It's verbatim.
I mean, thank you, God bless, dealer. Kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, exactly. See?
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh man. All right, and this is your host, KY Bob. You can catch me everywhere as KY Bob because nobody wanted to be named after a lubricant or the state of Kentucky. So yeah, I take it for whatever it's worth. Every Thursday here at 9 p.m. with hopefully more of a normal panel next week. More of a permanent panel. I don't know what that's looking like right now. Whether or not Power Man will come through. I'm still waiting to hear back on when those his normal off days are going to start because of school, so he can be here every week. And of course, you'll see Mr. Bushido here next week. And yeah, everybody have a great weekend. It was great to see everybody come out. It was great to see everybody be seen by everybody. Everybody have a good night.
See you guys.
It's going through, guys.